We can grab Isaiah. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, who rule well and teach well, and who we learn this truth from through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations unto all the Akim, you brothers preaching this word in truth and in sincerity across the four corners of the earth, and shalom to the hopeful elect, you sincere believers scattered wherever you may be. And what I have here is a video, a clip with the heading. It says, "Nothing to see here, just a fleet of UFOs flying over some Middle Eastern country." Anyone want to explain this? And this was shared by a beloved brother on Twitter. But basically showing you these, what the world calls UFOs, when really they're identified as the chariots or the angels of the Lord in the scriptures. And brother and I are just going to go into it, Lord willing, to be edifying and exhorting. Just pulling some precepts of the chariots in the Bible, because a chariot basically is a vessel that the angels are in to maneuver around and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like just how we have, or back in the day, they had chariots with horses to get around, to move around. And now in the modern present day, what we have cars, so it would be our chariot. And the chariots is just, you know what I'm saying, for the angels.
Their vehicle.
Yeah, their vehicle, right. So to start, which was inspired by this clip, is Isaiah 31:5. It reads, "As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem." And we know Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Jerusalem consisted of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And really in these times, it's primarily the elect that he's going to defend. It says, defending also, he will deliver it. Deliver who? The elect. The remnant that was chosen before the foundation of the earth. It says, in passing over, he will preserve it. He's going to preserve our spirits. Right, because the flesh can't inherit the kingdom of heaven. But our soul, you know what I'm saying, we're going to be translated, Lord willing, from one body to another.
If I may, can I get in the NLT?
Mm-hmm.
This is Isaiah 31:5 in the NLT. It says, "The Lord of heaven's armies will hover over Jerusalem." And just like what the brother said, we are a place, we are a people for a place, you know. So the Lord and his army is going to hover over, just like in the video. It says, "And protect it like a bird protecting his nest."
Yeah.
He will defend and save the city. He will pass over it and rescue it.
Yep. So that's exactly what it is. It's plain. Matthew 24:31, or starting at verse 31 to the point. Well, 30. Really all the way up, but still, Matthew 24:30, it says, "Then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven." And who is that? Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It says, "And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." And it's going to be woe and destruction unto, you know what I'm saying, the tribes of the earth, unto the heathen. You know what I'm saying? And the 2/3 of our people in America, Babylon the Great, and worldwide, those that are wicked, you know what I'm saying? They're going to get not evil, but a destructive reward, so to speak. Because all of us are going to get rewarded, whether it be good or bad, with salvation or destruction. It says, "And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." Clouds also going into the chariots, the angels. Yep. He's coming with his army. He's coming with Michael, the archangel. And, you know what I'm saying, the rest of the angels to follow.
And kind of just to land back what you just saying, chariots being called clouds. Chariots also have cloaking devices, you know. Through the day, they hide in plain sight. Being as clouds and as a night, they are it look like fire in the sky, or also a star at night, you know, being as a cloaking device.
Yep. it says, verse 31, it says, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So that's it right there. You want to speak on it?
No,
Yeah, the remnant that was, you know what I'm saying, and throughout all the world, because as Israelites, we're as the sand of the sea. We're scattered amongst all these, amongst all the nations, and we're gonna be, but primarily the majority, I should say, of the elect is right here in America. But you have all the tribes everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
definitely. What you want to get next?
You got the Psalms. What was that? 68. Yeah.
Where'd you want it out?
17 to the point.
17. All right, this is Psalm 68, verse 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
You can read in the NLT if you want.
I'm gonna get the other scripture too.
Yeah.
Verse 17, NLT, it says, surrounded by unnumbered, so innumerable,
Yeah.
number of angels, you know. It says thousands of chariots. And Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai came from Mount Sinai into his sanctuary.
Mm-hmm. You think if it's unnumerable or unnumbered, like just to think, because the scriptures say it's going to be a dark and gloomy day. So imagine, and that's literally and figuratively, because it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, doom upon the earth in them times, straight hell and chaos. But when you look up in the sky, if it's covered with angels and then missiles and smoke and debris, it's going to be dark. It'll look like in the movie 300 when they shot off them arrows.
Literally.
And it covered the sky. That's how the sky's going to be when the Lord returns. And really, you're not going to miss Yahweh Shai, because even Yahweh Shai is going to cover the damn sky with his fathership.
Just look at Independence Day. That movie, and that's a real good depiction of how the chariot's supposed to look like, you know?
Yep.
And how he's going to come down.
And that's the thing with Esau Edom, the so-called white man trying to mask it over with some fairy tale alien shit. That goes to show you they know, you know what I'm saying, that the chariots are the angels. You know what I'm saying? They're not unidentified, they are identified. If they didn't know, they wouldn't have a space force and these you know what I'm saying, certain technologies trying to uncover them and, you know what I'm saying, detect them.
Eventually they know they're gonna have to fight.
Yeah. And they think that the pride of their heart has deceived them, thinking they withstand any type of chance against the Lord and his angels.
Real quick. Get that scripture with the Michael.
Oh, okay. Was it Daniel 12?
It was Revelation 12.
Oh, okay, kind.
All right, this is Revelation 12, starting at verse 7. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much Michael is the angel of war, you know. And then it says, and his angels, you know, with Salaki, it says, and the dragon and his angels, that goes into the, for instance, like their ships, you know, I can't think exactly what they call.
Warships?
Yeah, fighter jets.
Fighter jets,
yeah. Fighter jets, you know. Because they're going to be fighting in the heavens, you know. When you say the heavens, that means in the sky, you know. It says, and prevail not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven, you know. They wasn't found anywhere in the sky, you know. Or their
rule.
Yeah, rulership, and when it comes to their, what's that shit called? Satellites.
Okay, kind.
And their satellites. So they have no more rulership. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, and that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the point being the Esau Edom and his soul and his whole beast system.
Yep. Yep.
That same dragon was the same dragon that was back in the garden. You know what I'm saying? Esau Edom, the crooked man is going to be cast down from his rulership.
Yep.
Tell you can go down to verse 10.
It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of the most Salakia, the kingdom of our power, and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
Yep. And like I was talking with the brother at camp, is basically just our evil twin brother is gonna be finally with that shame. You know, he's accuser of our brethren. What they say, our own mother's son, or
Slander.
Yeah. He's a slanderer. He's the devil. He's a deceiver, slanderer. Right, all these things, and the adversary, Satan. He's the adversary. He's the antagonist in the Lord's movie, while Jacob, Israel, the elect, is a protagonist. And constantly, he comes up with tactics and plots against Israel to accuse them before the Most High.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5, starting verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and who afflicted us, these other nations, pretty much all the nations in Psalms 83,
God.
But the main one is Esau Edom, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. And why would it be strange? Because we're going to get beamed up, Lord willing. We those men, but that's why it's going to be so strange. And that it's going to be crazy because we will look down upon, and then we're going to be lifted up on top.
Yeah.
It says, so far beyond all that they look for, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall they say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach, So we was talked down upon, all of our people, all 12 tribes, and the Lord's gonna put us on top and have these other nations confounded.
God.
Let me get this last two verses. It says, verse 4 and 5. It says, we fools accounted his life madness. They don't believe anything we talk about, They don't pay attention to none of the prophecies.
Yeah, even in speaking of the chariots, that they're angels.
Exactly.
It's considered foreign. Like, what the hell are these niggas talking about? Like, or even just the return of the Lord. They have no faith. They weren't gifted faith.
Mm-hmm.
They see here, and that's all they see. They have no type of spiritual eyes or spiritual ears. Because, at the end of the day, they're heathen, so
they see everything at face value.
Yeah.
Instead of looking outside the box.
Yeah.
Let me get verse 4 again. It says, we fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor.
God.
How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his life is among the saints? So at the end of the day, that's our goal. Our end goal is, is to be with the Lord, to be righteous, and to be counted among the saints,
Mm-hmm.
What else could we get?
I just have one more.
And
whatever you have, we could close on it. Jude 1 and 14. It says, Jude 1 and 14, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. So this goes to show you that the prophets have been before old speaking the same things that the prophets now are speaking.
I get that 2 Kings.
God. Through what? Reincarnation, because we come back every third or fourth generation.
Yep.
We come back upon the earth to play out our judgment and to fulfill our lot, whatever our lot was to play upon this earth from the Lord. But it says, so he cometh with 10,000 of his saints for what? Jude 1 and 15, to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and all of their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. So yeah, it says, these are murmurers, complainers, walking after their own lusts, in their mouth speaking great swelling words, having men's persons in admiration because of advantage. Yeah, just the scoffers. He's coming to render unto everybody according to their works.
And it's crazy. That's most of the people in so-called America.
Yeah.
That's most of the people in this place.
Yep.
That's exactly how they act.
And especially the ones of our people. Because they're hard-headed. It's within their nature. They're hard-headed, gainsaying people who have no faith. They weren't blessed with the faith. Right? Because, hey, the Lord didn't want them. The Lord don't love them. But he loved you if you have this truth. And yeah, that was basically it to that. But the point being, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints.
Let me get this. This is 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 16. On down it says, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them, because the backstory to that, it was I think it was the Assyrian army was coming against Elisha, just to come to him, just keep going. It says, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire about Elisha, So just to break that down, you never see no horses and fire. Come on now.
Right.
So when it says the horses, it represents power, And then talking about vehicles, it says chariots of fire round about Elisha, Let me see. You want to say anything before I keep going?
You can read down to verse 18, because it says the Aramean army in the NLT. So it was the Arameans at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, the Elisha had prayed for who was it?
I think it was Elijah.
It might have been Elijah. I just want to make sure. I believe it was Elijah. I think it might have been I just want to make sure real quick.
I know it's another scripture. I think it might be in the same chapter when he got taken up by a chariot.
God. It didn't really specify, not here, I don't think, but it says in verse 15, 2 Kings 6 and 15, when the servant of the man of the Most High was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? So like, master, what are we going to do? Seeing that the host, the enemies, basically surrounded the city with horses and chariots.
So pretty much his disciple was thinking carnally. He didn't have that spiritual eye to understand at that time that they had protection all around them.
Right. And then that's when, in verse 17, that's when Elisha had prayed for the servant's eyes to be opened, and then that's when he saw the chariots. So that goes to show you, the Lord has to open up your eyes in order to see this truth, and even to gaze up at the chariots, because it's for us to see.
Yeah, it was Elijah. I found the chapter.
It was Elijah, Khan.
Yeah. This is 2 Kings chapter 2, starting at verse 1. This is going to Elisha, Shalakia. Backstory of Elijah and Elisha and the chariots. It says, and it came to pass when Yahweh would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord has sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said unto him, as Yahweh liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethel. Let me get to a straight up point. Even in the first verse, it said he got taken up by a whirlwind, you know, and that's one of the key indicators to one of the keys. What's the right word for that? That's a key word to.
To identify the chariot.
Identify a chariot. You know, either by a fire or a whirlwind or a cloud. You know.
Them synonyms, basically.
I think it's verse 17, maybe. Yeah, that was pretty much it, though.
Nah, that was basically the point. So yeah, man.
Salakia. I found it. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 11. It says, and it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, and of horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. You know, when it said parted them asunder, you know, separated them, you know, from Elijah getting beamed up, and then
Elisha,
Elisha being what's his name, still there.
Yeah, so yeah, he seen it. He was the understudy, and that's when he he took the mantle that fell from him and went back and stuff. Yeah, so imagine seeing that real time, like damn, he saw him getting translated, you know. And that's what it speaks about, 1 Corinthians 15. Lord willing, you know what I'm saying, we be those men that get beamed up and receive them new bodies, because that's the only way up out of here in America, because fire and brimstone is coming to America, Babylon the Great.
Literally.
So, hey, that's the ticket up out of here. But that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so with that, we want to give all praise, honor, glory again unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors again unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. Shalom, Wa, Abba Ball.
Blah, blah, blah.
Soon. Yep.